Hi, this is Steve from yourcreativelife.com talking today about a real live networking story that happened to me in my life, just to tell you again how networking works. I've mentioned several times this is the time in the holiday season to reach out to people and say hello, to connect with people, and while other people are doing it in the world. And I really encourage you to do that. But here's a story that did not take place at the holidays specifically, but is an example, I think, for all of us and something that I remember fondly. And I'll be as specific as I can. Way back in the day, during the first season of the TV series American Crime, I had, just before that season, an interview with John Ridley to get on the show. And we had a really lovely interview, very nice. And I had a really great time talking to him. And I did not get the job. Season one went by, season two went by. And between their season two and the emergence of season three, I decided that I was going to do something of my own. And I created a web series, which is called Send Me, which you can go see on YouTube here. But I created the web series. And before that, I wrote a short story version of the idea, which is about a woman who can send people back in time to the days of slavery. And that short story got me a bunch of meetings around town, which was pretty amazing. And at one of those meetings, I met this woman who was temping as an assistant to the person I was meeting with. And that woman really loved the short story. And she came out to talk to me in the lobby before my meeting and said, "Whoa, how did you come up with this idea? And I just really wanted to meet you." And she and I exchanged numbers and became friends. And later, when I was doing my web series and doing some crowdfunding and having a gathering, I invited her to the gathering to support the project and all that stuff. Anyway, fast forward to a particular year when I was invited through my agent to a meeting that happened, that John Ridley threw. It was a holiday party. It might have been a holiday party or it might have been an early spring. Can't remember. I think it was in the fall. Anyway, he had this gathering and I got invited through my agent. We had the same agent at the time. And at the party, I thought, well, I'm not going to know anybody there. I hadn't been in the industry all that long, and I was, but I decided that I would go because why not? You show up and see what happens. And when I walked through the door, I saw a number of people that I knew, and I saw this woman who I'd met years before, who came to my crowdfunding party, and she came up to me and was really happy to see me. And she had mentioned in the past, just as a matter of course, that she had been friends with John Ridley's family. And this was his party, and she was there, and she was happy that I was there too. And she said she was going to make sure that he and I got a little face to face. Now, in the process of crowdfunding, we had made these little cards that said the name of the series, Send Me, and the information, the URL, where you could see it on the back. And this woman, this friend of mine, introduced me. We were talking and walking around and stuff. She introduced me to this woman, and I'm chatting with this woman about the project. She's like, "Oh my goodness, tell her about your project." And I mentioned the series and what it was about. And I realized during the conversation that this woman happened to be John Ridley's wife. And she said to me, "Wow, sounds really interesting. Where can I see this?" And I had the card ready to go. And I handed her my last card to see the series. Now, fast forward like an hour later, and this friend of mine walked me over to John, and I got to talk to John Ridley and just really wanted to thank him for the terrific meeting we'd had years before, and told him about the web series. And he said, "That sounds really interesting. Where can I see it?" And I got to say the good pleasure of saying, "Your wife has the card for the series." Now, he took a look at the series, really liked it, showed it to his producing partner. They really liked it. And within a couple of days, I had a meeting with them about potentially coming on board for the third season of American Crime. Again, 2 whole years, several seasons after I originally met with them and did not get the job. And that time around, I got the job. Now, a couple of takeaways from this. I was told by the team that my web series, the thing that I created, put me head and shoulders above the other people who were applying for the job in that season. And that was really useful and really helpful. But the moral of the story today is all about the networking. Just think about it. If I hadn't really connected with the woman who came up to me when I had my meeting around the short story version of the project, if I hadn't stayed in touch with her, if I hadn't invited her to the crowdfunding party that we had about the web series, if I hadn't kept in touch, then there wouldn't have been that connection when I walked through the door for her to want to and to know about the series, to want to connect me and to be there to support me in making those connections. And this is where networking comes in. Notice that this story spans several years, doesn't happen overnight, wasn't wrestling anybody to the ground or pushing anybody toward anything, but a series of events of being friendly, being kind, sending a thank you note to John Ridley the year that I met with him, connecting with his executive who I met with that year as well, sending a thank you note to him, and also keeping in touch with this woman who then put so many things together, and having the business card for the web series on hand to give to John Ridley's wife as part of this story. So now today, John Ridley and I are still in touch, and he helped actually support a TV version of my web series, which did not go forward, but was again a fantastic experience to both work with him on the show and have the backing of him going to try to make the show into a television series. All of those things, in some ways, they're all tied to the connection, to the networking, to the being in touch, to the being a human being, to the being friendly and open, and all of those things. And to this day, I still send holiday greetings to John and other people involved in American crime and my friend who introduced us. All of those people are on my list of supporters and friends who, just like my grandmother, my cousin, my uncle, whoever else, I keep in touch with. And that is networking. That's the magic of it. That's the power of it. And it's absolutely something that you should do in order to keep your writing career on track and stay present and focused and joyful and forward moving in your entertainment industry career. So I hope you got a lot out of that and some lessons for you. If you enjoyed it, give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe, because I come out with a brand new video about the TV industry and your survival and thrival in it. That's not really a word. Every single week, brand new videos every single week. Go to yourcreativelife.com to find out everything soup to nuts about how I personally can help you in your writing career, and check out the newsletter, sign up for my monthly newsletter, and check out the podcast, The Secret Writer Podcast, which there's also a link on the website. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.